in different things like this, and yet, people say, and, been treated, meted a punishment, meted out to them. I'm surprised that people still go back, into the same thing.
Well, talking about Jacobs, the Italian Olympic champion, preparing for the Olympic Games coming up in Paris 2024, you may be involved in one misconduct or the other, but given that this saga is over, it does not use, properly training maybe an upcoming athlete. This is
we had our own trouble prior to the World Championship when we had Toby Amoso, a lot of distractions which hampered her performance. So these things do happen. If you don't behave well, you sure will have, if you do the crime, you should go in for the time. Look at the style bender a couple of days ago. He went, he went partying, he drank and became drunk, and of course, he was held by the traffic, he was taken to court, and he accepted pleaded guilty and all of that. So if you have done, he said he's even apologizing, and of course, they're calling on the fans, that, they should forgive him and all of that. Once you have done the crime, you should be ready to go in for the time. Toby Amoso, yes, she's been cleared, and to some extent, we believe strongly that she is clean. But then investigations are still ongoing. So when you do things in civilized crime, you won't go unpunished. You sure will definitely face it.
Coach Rina and Jacobs of the Italy work together ahead of the Olympic Games, and we believe that Coach Rina has the experience. He may have had one or two misconduct, but
I remember very well a couple of years ago, there was this Kenyan coach. I'm struggling to remember his name. He was actually my friend, and one of those, the first time I visited Kenya, he hosted me very well and all of that. He also had, issues about doping and all of that, and he was, suspended for a reasonable number of years. So if you have done the crime, you should be ready to go in for the time. It doesn't matter, how many world, championship are before you.
Talking about Coach Rena, definitely is on 1-year probation, and I hope he will use the period to learn his lessons.
Well, learning the hard way. Well, probably will learn the hard way, but, if he's found guilty.
If he's found guilty, but for now, he will continue to work with Jacobs of Italy ahead of the Olympic Games. But talking about the Olympic Games, the athletes themselves go out of their way to prepare. Yes, this is an individual sport, but again, you come under the umbrella of Italy, yet you go as far as trying to hone your skills with your own specialists.
We've seen all this happen. Most of the athletes, they do have their coaches. We remember very well even when, Toby Amoso had the saga before, prior to the World Championship. We saw how her coach had to leave her, to go to Jamaica and to join the Jamaican side. And for every top-notch athlete, every, elite athlete, what you just have to do for yourself is to get, a personal coach to yourself, because sometimes you may not get the best of preparation from your federation or from your country. So you just have to, you can imagine even the small boys, on the streets, what they do is they have their coaches, the grassroots coaches they believe on. So it's always nice that you have your personal coach aside the one, being provided by